What's up guys, Tyler here, and welcome to the 10 things to consider before purchasing LEGO. And for our very first episode, we're going to be doing something very special. As always, in almost any video, we will start with the box. So on the front side, you get the set number 75280, 501st Legion Clone Troopers, and the piece count is 285. Comes with 6 minifigures, and it even has the new Clone Wars style box art with the 332nd Trooper. Nothing too fancy here on the back of the box, just showing off some of the play features like stud shooters and moving legs, and it shows all the characters in action. Alright, second thing you look at when buying a LEGO set is the instruction manual. So, pretty standard. Has the box art on the front with the new Clone Wars style. And then it brings you to the characters, shows you that there's 2 bags. First bag builds the speeder bike and the second bag builds the walker. And then it just goes through and pretty standard. Nothing special. Next up, at number 3, we have what is arguably the most important feature of this set. And I'm saying this because a lot of people consider this to be a 501st battle pack. And battle packs, if you have any idea what those are army builders. So people are buying multiples of these in order to build an army, which means the characters better be good. And I've got to say, LEGO really knocked it out of the park on this one. I mean, look at this, it's so accurate. It has the nice printing on the helmet with the blue stripes, and then it even has a little bit of shadow underneath the little corners of the mask. It has nice blue printing down the front, very accurate, and it even has some feet printing, which we don't see often. Moving around to the back side, nothing too fancy here, just a little bit of back printing, which is pretty basic, but it looks good and it gets the job done. However, despite how great this figure is, we haven't even gotten to the most unique feature of it, and that's this new style of head that we've never seen before. And it looks really good, a lot more accurate than what we've seen in previous years. Also, I think it's worth pointing out that it does come with 3 of these, and this one even has a different style rifle, which they actually use a candlestick piece on the end of this, which I don't think we've ever seen before in black. So yeah, you get 3 of these 501st Legion Clone Troopers. And moving on to the next figure, we have a 501st Legion Jet Trooper, which he looks actually really good. He has some blue arms rather than the white arms that we see on the standard Trooper, and he even has a different helmet print with some red. And then coming around to the back side, he does have a jetpack, which looks really good. It's actually, I think it might be the first time we've seen this in blue. And if you're curious about it, this is what the back looks like without the jetpack on. And it looks pretty much the same as the normal Trooper, but it does have a little bit of extra blue on the top. But I mean, you're never going to see this. And then coming around to the front side, it also has the new clone style head. And last but not least, well, probably least, is the battle droid. And this set comes with 2 of them, which is worth noting, and nothing special, pretty much the same thing that LEGO has been using for their droid figures from, well, the start, since 1999. Nothing much has changed. Number 4 is the features. So, it comes with an AT-RT and a BARC speeder. So, for the BARC speeder, we have some stud shooters up front. Most of you know how these work. You push this, and you lose your stud. And then has some posable steering grips, and then has a couple of guns clipped on the back. And yeah, that's pretty much for features for this thing. Then for the AT-RT, it has a single stud shooter on the front. I will not demonstrate that again. And it has 2 posable legs that can stretch as far back as they want almost, but that's as far forward as they can go. And then it has handle, and it has a place for your trooper's gun on the back actually, and a pair of binoculars. And yep, that's pretty much it for features. And next up at number 5, we have design. Now, these things, I mean, they aren't perfect, but they're pretty good for $30. Maybe a few minor things here and there worth noting. This is actually, I actually really like what they did with this. It might be the first time we've ever seen a combination of this piece. Usually there's two of them, and there's like a line down the middle that's noticeable. So I actually really like that. And the seat actually has a little bit of like a hole there, so that's a little bit of a flaw in the design, but not too bad. And it's a little big. I'm not sure if that bothers you or not, but it is a little big. It's worth noting. And that's pretty much it for the bike. I think it looks really nice overall though. Nice, sleek, clean design. And for the ATRT, same act, different play. I mean, same idea where, you know, it's not the most perfect design, but it's pretty good for being half of a $30 set. I mean, the legs aren't fancy, but they don't look bad. And the feet even have a little nice of a design. They're a little bit smaller than normal, actually. And around the back, even this little antenna thing is actually really good. And it's not too long. It's definitely not like overbearing how long it is. And then on the front here, the front actually looks pretty good. Except some people actually, I'm not one of these people, but they have a little bit of a problem with the stud shooter here. It doesn't quite look accurate, but I think it's good, especially for play and for kids. Not much of an interior for either of these builds, but it does have a nice little spot for your minifigure to sit in, and it even has a printed piece right here for a nice little control panel. In my opinion, they're designed fairly well for a $30 set, especially in a set where all people really wanted from it was the characters. They really delivered with the builds. And next up, number 6 is sort of my weakest category. I wasn't quite sure what to put here, so I decided to put this in. And let me know in the comment section down below if this is what you want as number 6 in the next video. So, what we have here is we have a speeder bike, and we're gonna look at the stickers. So we have one right here. It's a nice little blue highlight, and I gotta say, it's not the most necessary thing, so if you're someone who doesn't like putting stickers on, you could probably leave that off and it would look just fine. However, the more important sticker is here on the back, and if you can tell, it's basically a gigantic gray piece that they've stickered all three of the 4 invisible sides of. There's actually like quite a bit of stickering, and it really helps like bring out the color in that area. So I feel like that sticker is a lot more important. And those are the only 2 places with stickers on the BARC Speeder. And the ATRT here has a little bit more stickering than the BARC Speeder. Probably what you saw at first was the stickers on the front. It has actually like a really nice design here on the front with this stripe that goes all the way down across 3 pieces. And it looks really good, and it like really adds a really good design to the whole thing. Like adds a little bit of gray to the front that's otherwise not present. So it's definitely an important one. And then over here on both sides we have a 501st Legion insignia, and I feel like that might be the most important sticker to leave on. Like if you have any sticker to leave on, leave that one on, because I mean it's the 501st Battle Pack. This is their ATRT. And then down here on the leg is probably the least necessary sticker. This is on both sides, and it's just a little bit of a blue highlight here down on the bottom, but I feel like it's the least important sticker on the ATRT. So number 7 is kind of just a section where I mentioned things that weren't really covered by previous categories, and things that I feel like are worth mentioning but aren't really falling under a certain category. And while this is a pretty small set, there's still a couple of things here that I'd like to talk about. So one thing that's not really important but something that I found interesting is the fact that you actually get a pair of Star Wars binoculars in this set. And for me, this is the first time I've ever gotten one of these. So I thought that was cool to just bring up again and make sure that you know, because this is actually really cool how they give you this. It's not really like shown in the set, but it's there, and I think it's awesome. Another thing that I touched on earlier, but I'd like to talk a little bit more about, is something on the BARC Speeder, and that's actually these little steering grips here. And I actually really like them, because when you take a figure and you place it in, like so, you can put these grips in his hands, right? But he can actually raise them to different heights in order to almost customize the direction he's going. And at number 8, how much does this cost? The answer is $30 in the United States. So I guess the real question here is this worth it? And to me, the answer is an absolute yes. It comes with 6 figures and 4 minifigures. It comes with 2 builds, and it even is 286 pieces, which falls into about the 10 cents price per piece that everyone is so worried about. So for number 9, I have what do I think of this set? And well, I really like this set. I really like the figures, I really like the builds. I really think that it's so much stuff that you get here for $30. I mean, how often do you see a set with 6 characters cost $30? Not only that, but it still has 285 pieces. I mean, I just really think that the question shouldn't be if you should buy this, but how many of them you should buy, because it's such a great set and it's a really good army builder. So here we are at the end of this video. Only one category left, number 10, and that's the final verdict. The box looks amazing. I mean, it looks so cool with all the 6 figures lined up here. And then for number 2, the instructions, they get the job done, they're just normal. Number 3, the figures, knocked out of the park. The features, just enough that we get out of a $30 set. The design, so good for only 285 pieces. Stickers, not too many, and they do a pretty good job. Additional notes, I couldn't think of anything bad to put in my additional notes. And then for price, I mean, this is so much for $30. And if my opinion matters anything to you, then I also love this set, and I think that you should get one. It is an absolute 10 out of 10 for me, for sure. It's just, there's not enough wrong with it for it to lose any goodness. It's so great. I can't put into words how much I love this set. And that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching, and be sure to let me know in the comment section down below which sections you like the most and which ones you'd like to see changed in the next video. Also, as always, be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel, and a like is greatly appreciated.